You feel the pressure. Life demands more from you than you think you can give. The tasks that will transform your career, your health, your relationships, those are the ones that feel impossible before you even start. But here's the truth. The mind is like a muscle. It is built, strengthened, and stretched the same way you build your body. You will discover, in the coming hours of listening, the tools, strategies, and mindset shifts that allow you to force your mind to do the hard things, consistently, without hesitation, without procrastination, and without excuses. Most people give up before they even try. They wait for motivation, for inspiration, for some external force to push them forward. But here's the secret. Motivation is a fleeting feeling. Comes and goes like the weather. What you need is discipline. What you need is a system that allows your mind to act even when it resists. That's what this audiobook is designed to teach you. Step by step, paragraph by paragraph, actionable principle by principle. Imagine waking up tomorrow and taking control of your day with absolute certainty. Imagine completing the tasks that you dread the most without stress, without hesitation, without that inner voice telling you to quit. That is what it feels like to force your mind to do hard things. And it's not reserved for the naturally disciplined or the extraordinary. It's available to anyone willing to apply the right strategies consistently. Even you. Let's start with understanding your mind. Your brain is wired to seek comfort and avoid pain. That's why most people stay stuck, trapped in routines that feel safe, even if they are slowly destroying their potential. The hard work, the challenging conversations, the early mornings, the hours of focused effort, these are all things your brain will resist. And resistance is not your enemy. Resistance is your guide. Resistance shows you exactly where your growth lies. The more you feel it, the more opportunity there is to become stronger, sharper, and more capable. To force your mind to do hard things, you must first accept discomfort as part of the process. This is non-negotiable. Comfort is the enemy of progress. When you feel the urge to quit, to procrastinate, to scroll endlessly on your phone, pause. That is the exact moment to push forward. Every time you move through resistance, you are building neural pathways in your brain that make the next challenge easier. This is how mental toughness is created. This is how extraordinary results are achieved. Actionable tip: start small. The first step is not to run a marathon or launch a business overnight. The first step is to commit to showing up consistently, even for 5 minutes of the task you dread the most. The act of showing up, no matter how small, signals to your brain that you are serious. Your brain will argue, it will negotiate, it will complain. That is expected. You will win not by avoiding the argument, but by acting in spite of it. Now, let's talk about focus. Hard things require deep focus, and deep focus is a skill. It is not something you are born with. It is something you develop. Start by removing distractions. Put your phone on airplane mode. Close social media tabs. Create a workspace that signals to your mind. This is the place for effort, for growth, for mastery. Then, chunk your tasks into manageable steps. Your mind can handle hard things if you give it a clear roadmap. The challenge isn't the task. It's the overwhelm. Break it down. Conquer it piece by piece. The truth about hard things is that your mind is always searching for the path of least resistance. It wants comfort, predictability, and safety. That's why you feel drained before starting a difficult task. That's why the thought of it alone can feel exhausting. But here's a simple truth. Mental strength is built when you resist that natural urge to avoid discomfort. Every time you do something hard, you are literally rewiring your brain to crave growth instead of comfort. You are telling your neural pathways, this is the new normal. Effort is standard. Discipline is expected. Think about the people you admire most. The entrepreneurs, the athletes, the thought leaders, they all share one thing. They do what is hard even when it's uncomfortable. They show up when no one is watching. They push when every fiber of their being is screaming to quit. That is not luck. That is deliberate mental conditioning. And the good news is that you can replicate it. You can force your mind to do what feels impossible right now, simply by creating systems and rituals that make hard things automatic. One of the most powerful ways to condition your mind is through daily micro-challenges. These are small, deliberate acts of discipline that train your brain to tolerate discomfort. It might be as simple as waking up 30 minutes earlier than usual, finishing a task you've been avoiding, or doing one extra rep at the gym when your body protests. The brain cannot distinguish between small and large challenges. It only registers effort. Over time, small, consistent efforts accumulate into massive mental resilience. Discipline is not motivation. Motivation is fleeting, unpredictable, and unreliable. Discipline is consistent action, built into your identity. To force your mind to do hard things, you must develop the habit of showing up no matter how you feel. Feelings will always fluctuate, but action is constant. Your mind may protest, your body may resist, but the act of moving forward in spite of resistance creates confidence, capability, and momentum. Momentum is the secret weapon of mental toughness. It turns effort into progress and resistance into fuel. Another essential strategy is to reframe difficulty as opportunity. When your brain perceives a challenge, it triggers stress responses designed to protect you. That fight or flight reaction is not weakness, it's feedback. It's your brain telling you, growth is ahead. Instead of shrinking back from the challenge, reframe it as a test of your capacity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How will I become stronger if I succeed? By shifting your perspective, you convert fear into excitement, dread into determination, and avoidance into action. Visualization is a key tool in this process. Take a few minutes every day to visualize yourself completing the hard task you've been avoiding. See yourself overcoming obstacles, staying focused, and achieving your goal. The mind struggles to distinguish vivid imagination from reality. By repeatedly visualizing success, you prepare your brain to handle real challenges with confidence and clarity. Visualization primes your neural pathways for action and reduces hesitation when the moment comes. It's also critical to embrace structured routines. Hard things are easier when your environment supports them. Your workspace, your schedule, and even your social interactions can either strengthen or weaken your resolve. Create a daily structure where effort is automatic. Schedule time blocks for high-focus work, designate distraction-free zones, and surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. Structure removes decision fatigue, allowing your mind to act even when motivation is low. One of the most underrated aspects of forcing your mind to do hard things is self-accountability. No one will push you harder than your own commitment to yourself. Track your progress, review your actions daily, and set clear standards for your performance. When you hold yourself accountable, the mind learns to respect its own commitments. Accountability transforms mental resistance into a game of integrity, where quitting is no longer an option because it violates your personal code. Breaking tasks into manageable chunks is another powerful method. The human mind struggles with overwhelming tasks, not with the work itself. Large projects feel impossible because they lack clear starting points. By breaking a massive goal into smaller, actionable steps, you create clarity and momentum. Each small victory fuels confidence and reduces the mental barrier to action. Before long, what once seemed impossible becomes routine. Physical habits also play a profound role in mental toughness. Your brain and body are deeply connected. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate sleep increase cognitive function, energy levels, and emotional stability. A strong body supports a strong mind, and a strong mind enables you to tackle challenges without hesitation. Never underestimate the impact of taking care of your physical health as part of your mental training. Discomfort is temporary. Growth is permanent. Every time you endure something difficult, you are depositing into a long-term mental bank account. These deposits compound over time, creating resilience that carries you through future challenges with ease. The people who succeed are not immune to difficulty. They simply understand that effort today compounds into strength tomorrow. The next principle is embracing failure as feedback. Most people avoid hard tasks because they fear failure. But failure is not a verdict. It is data. It is information about what works, what doesn't, and what you need to improve. When you treat failure as a stepping stone instead of a stopping point, you remove fear from the equation. You replace hesitation with curiosity, dread with determination, and avoidance with action. Self-talk is another crucial lever for forcing your mind to do hard things. The internal dialogue you maintain can either fuel or drain your efforts. Replace thoughts like, "I can't" or "this is too hard" with statements like, "I will do this because I am capable" or "discomfort is temporary. Growth is permanent." Words shape thoughts and thoughts shape actions. Mastering your self-talk is mastering the art of mental discipline. Reward and reinforcement are powerful tools as well. The brain responds to feedback. Celebrate small wins, acknowledge progress, and reinforce habits that push you forward. Rewards are not indulgences. They are signals to your brain that effort is recognized, creating positive cycles of behavior that strengthen persistence. Another technique is time-limited intensity. Commit to focused bursts of effort, even if you doubt your ability to sustain it long-term. Start with 25 to 60-minute sessions of undivided attention on a hard task. The intensity and focus teach your mind what it's capable of. Over time, sustained focus becomes second nature, and hard tasks feel manageable because your brain has experienced success under pressure. Patience is critical. Forcing your mind to do hard things is not about instant results. It's about cumulative growth. Every day you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen neural pathways that make future challenges easier. The process may feel slow, but the results compound exponentially. Perseverance is the bridge between effort and achievement. Discipline is like a muscle. It grows stronger with deliberate, consistent effort. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you are strengthening that muscle. It might feel small, insignificant even, but the compounding effect over weeks and months is extraordinary. Your mind begins to anticipate success instead of fearing it. It becomes conditioned to expect progress, and resistance slowly loses its grip. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results, not by talent, not by luck, but by the sheer force of sustained, deliberate effort. Hard things test more than just skill. They test your emotional resilience. When the mind is pushed to its limits, it triggers frustration, self-doubt, and fear. These emotions are natural, they are part of the growth process. The key is learning to acknowledge them without surrendering to them. You cannot eliminate discomfort, but you can control how you respond to it. Each time you face fear, each time you push through frustration, you create an unshakable mental foundation. A practical method for handling emotional resistance is the 5-minute rule. Commit to starting a task for just 5 minutes. Tell your mind, "I only need to start. I will act for 5 minutes." Often, once you begin, momentum naturally carries you forward. The hardest part is always starting. By lowering the initial barrier, you trick your brain into action, and before long, what seemed impossible becomes manageable. This is a simple yet powerful tool for anyone struggling with procrastination. Another essential strategy is mental visualization combined with physical action. Picture yourself completing the task perfectly, then immediately take a tangible step toward it. The combination of mental rehearsal and physical execution creates alignment between intention and action. Your brain begins to recognize effort as achievable, and your body follows suit. This method is widely used by elite performers, from athletes to CEOs, because it rewires the brain to embrace challenges rather than avoid them. Consistency is your ultimate weapon. You do not need to be perfect, you only need to be consistent. Small, repeated actions taken daily compound over time into remarkable results. Think of the person who writes 500 words every day or the athlete who trains for 1 hour daily. Over months and years, the cumulative effect is transformative. Consistency creates trust between you and your own mind. Your brain learns to rely on your habits, reducing resistance over time. It's also crucial to cultivate a growth-focused environment. The people, spaces, and media you engage with profoundly influence your mindset. Surround yourself with individuals who challenge and elevate you. Avoid environments that normalize mediocrity, and consume content that inspires action rather than distraction. Your environment either reinforces mental weakness or strengthens mental toughness. It is your choice point. One of the most underestimated factors in doing hard things is energy management. Your mind cannot function at peak under chronic fatigue, poor nutrition, or disrupted sleep. Discipline is easier to maintain when your body is well-fueled, hydrated, and rested. Schedule your most difficult tasks for the time of day when your energy peaks. Aligning effort with optimal physical and mental states amplifies your capacity to act. To train the mind further, practice deliberate discomfort. Seek situations that challenge you emotionally, physically, or mentally. Take cold showers, wake up earlier than usual, speak in front of groups, or push beyond your comfort zone at work or in relationships. These small acts of deliberate stress teach your brain that discomfort is temporary and manageable, gradually transforming fear into confidence. Hard tasks often fail because people underestimate the mental clarity required. Clarity comes from preparation, planning, and eliminating distractions. Before tackling a difficult task, write down exactly what needs to be done, step by step. Visualize the process, anticipate obstacles, and define solutions in advance. Your brain loves structure. It struggles with ambiguity. By providing clear instructions, you reduce resistance and accelerate execution. A technique used by elite performers is temptation bundling. Pair a task you resist with an activity you enjoy. For example, listen to your favorite podcast while cleaning, or reward yourself with a short break after completing a challenging task. This strategy transforms aversion into incentive and rewires your mind to associate hard work with positive reinforcement. Self-reflection is a critical component of mental strength. Take time at the end of each day to review your actions. Ask yourself, where did I avoid discomfort? Where did I succeed despite resistance? Reflection strengthens awareness, reinforces progress, and helps you identify patterns that sabotage performance. The act of reviewing your behavior builds self-discipline and strengthens the connection between intention and execution. Visualization alone is not enough. Action must follow immediately. The mind craves alignment between thought and reality. Delaying action creates tension, frustration, and procrastination. When you feel the urge to act, do it immediately. Push the first rep, write the first word, make the first call. Small steps, taken without delay, snowball into massive accomplishment over time. Another key principle is breaking pain into purpose. Every difficult task carries inherent discomfort. Shift your perspective from pain to purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What will it lead to? Purpose transforms hardship into meaning. When your mind is anchored in why, endurance becomes easier, focus sharper, and effort more consistent. Hard things require patience. Quick results are rare, but incremental progress compounds exponentially. Remember the bamboo tree that grows silently underground for years before bursting into growth. Your efforts may feel invisible now, but consistent action builds a foundation for exponential results. Trust the process and embrace the invisible work. It is where greatness is forged. A powerful method to enhance mental toughness is the accountability mirror. Stand before yourself and speak aloud your commitments. Look into your own eyes and declare what you will do, refusing to allow excuses. This practice strengthens integrity, reinforces self-discipline, and creates a deep internal commitment that transcends motivation. Mental toughness also comes from reducing options and decisions. Decision fatigue is real. The more choices you make, the weaker your self-control becomes. Simplify routines, automate minor tasks, and create default behaviors that prioritize action. When your brain is not overloaded with choices, it is freer to tackle challenging tasks without hesitation. Procrastination is the silent killer of potential. The more you delay a task, the more your brain builds resistance to it. The key to defeating procrastination is structured initiation. Break the task into its smallest possible component and commit to executing just that. Sometimes, starting with the tiniest action, opening a document, drafting a single sentence, lifting a single weight, can overcome the mental inertia that prevents progress. Action, even minimal, creates movement. Movement creates momentum. Momentum leads to completion. One of the most powerful tools for forcing your mind to do hard things is time blocking with strict boundaries. Allocate uninterrupted periods specifically for high-value work, free from distractions. This is non-negotiable. Close email, silence notifications, and enter a state of deliberate focus. During this time, your brain experiences deep work, where productivity multiplies exponentially. The harder the task, the more critical it is to protect these time blocks. Cognitive reframing transforms resistance into opportunity. Every time your mind signals discomfort, stress, or doubt, consciously shift your perspective. Ask, how can this challenge serve me? What skill will I develop? How will my life improve if I succeed? Reframing converts fear into curiosity, stress into excitement, and hesitation into decisive action. Mental reframing is a daily practice of turning resistance into fuel for progress. Mental rehearsal works best when combined with environmental cues. Place visual reminders of your goals in your workspace, on your phone, or in your daily planner. These cues prime your subconscious mind to act. They create alignment between intention and action. Over time, your brain begins to associate your environment with focus, effort, and success. The harder the task, the more deliberate the cues should be. Elite performers consistently use habit stacking to tackle difficult tasks without relying on willpower alone. Pair a habit you want to form with an existing routine. For example, if you want to journal daily, do it immediately after your morning coffee. Want to train for endurance? Run right after brushing your teeth. The brain responds to predictable patterns. By linking new actions to established habits, resistance decreases, and action becomes automatic. One of the greatest mental hacks is embracing incremental improvement. You do not need to perfect everything immediately. Focus on making measurable progress each day, even if it feels small. Growth compounds faster than perfection. The average person abandons hard tasks because they expect instant results. Success, however, comes from consistent, incremental effort over time. Small wins create confidence, reduce resistance, and reinforce the habit of action. Accountability systems amplify your ability to tackle hard tasks. Share your goals with a trusted friend, mentor, or coach who will hold you responsible. External accountability strengthens internal discipline. When someone else is observing, the mind recognizes the cost of inaction, and effort becomes inevitable. Elite performers leverage accountability relentlessly, combining self-discipline with social reinforcement. Another critical strategy is emotional regulation under pressure. High-pressure tasks trigger adrenaline, anxiety, and self-doubt. Instead of resisting these emotions, acknowledge them and redirect them into productive energy. Techniques like deep breathing, visualization, and mindfulness allow you to convert stress into focus. The ability to remain calm while executing difficult tasks separates average performers from exceptional ones. Chunking tasks is a cornerstone of high performance. Massive goals become manageable when broken into small, actionable steps. Not only does this reduce overwhelm, but it also allows for measurable progress. Each completed chunk generates momentum, builds confidence, and trains the mind to embrace challenges rather than fear them. Without chunking, the brain perceives only the immensity of the task, creating paralysis and avoidance. A mindset of continuous learning supports mental toughness. Every hard task carries lessons. Instead of judging yourself for mistakes, treat each setback as data. Analyze performance, adjust strategy, and apply lessons to the next challenge. Growth-oriented individuals see obstacles as classrooms. The mind becomes conditioned to expect learning opportunities, reducing fear of difficulty and reinforcing resilience. Energy management is as much mental as physical. Schedule your most demanding work during periods when your focus and willpower are at their peak. Avoid decision-making, planning, or heavy mental work when energy is low. Reserve those times for less demanding tasks. The harder the task, the more intentional your energy allocation must be. Optimal energy plus deliberate focus equals unstoppable performance. The principle of deliberate discomfort can be amplified with specific daily rituals. Push yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally every day. Take cold showers, engage in intense physical activity, or tackle tasks you have been avoiding. Discomfort signals growth. Each time you embrace it, your mind learns to tolerate and even welcome challenges. Over weeks and months, these small acts compound into formidable mental resilience. Visualization and affirmations work best when combined with specific action plans. Imagine yourself succeeding, then write down the steps necessary to achieve it. The brain craves alignment between visualization and reality. This practice primes your subconscious, reduces hesitation, and creates neural pathways that support high performance. Elite athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders rely on this method to bridge thought and execution. Focus and attention are finite resources. Protect them fiercely. Avoid multitasking. Schedule single-task sessions, during which all focus is devoted to one challenging task. Train your mind to enter a state of flow, where distractions vanish and productivity multiplies. The ability to sustain focus under difficulty is a skill that separates ordinary effort from extraordinary achievement. Hard things are easier when meaning and purpose are embedded in your actions. Ask, why does this matter? Who benefits from my effort? How does this move me closer to my long-term goals? Purpose transforms tedious work into meaningful action. When your mind is anchored in a strong why, resistance diminishes, energy increases, and consistency improves dramatically. The power of reflection cannot be overstated. Spend time reviewing daily progress. Ask yourself, what challenges did I face? How did I respond? Where can I improve tomorrow? Reflection strengthens awareness, reinforces successes, and corrects patterns of avoidance. It is a feedback loop for mental discipline, transforming experience into mastery. Deliberate practice requires patience and repetition. Mastery is rarely instant. Focused effort, repeated over time, strengthens neural pathways that allow your mind to handle increasingly complex challenges. The key is persistence. Every session of focused effort adds to your cumulative capability. What once seemed impossible gradually becomes routine. Time-limited intensity is another powerful technique. Commit to focused effort for a defined period, 25, 50, or 90 minutes. The brain thrives under structure. Intense focus for a short period is more effective than diluted effort spread over hours. This method teaches your mind to respect deadlines, embrace discomfort, and perform under pressure. Elite performers do not rely on motivation. They rely on structured routines and mental toughness. Consider Olympic athletes, top CEOs, and world-class creatives. They face the same fears, doubts, and fatigue that ordinary people do, yet they consistently act in spite of them. What sets them apart is deliberate, consistent practice under discomfort. They have created a framework where effort is automatic, resistance is expected, and progress is non-negotiable. Mental toughness is built through repeated exposure to controlled challenges. Start small. Tackle a task you have been avoiding, even if it seems minor. Over time, gradually increase the difficulty. Each success strengthens your confidence, rewires your neural pathways, and expands your capacity for future challenges. The key is not perfection. It is relentless, deliberate practice. One powerful tool is the daily hard task rule. Identify one task every day that you would normally avoid, the one that pushes your limits, challenges your focus, or creates discomfort. Commit to completing it fully. This single habit trains your mind to embrace difficulty as a daily practice, making all other tasks easier by comparison. Another strategy is visualizing failure before success. Instead of imagining only winning, visualize the obstacles, challenges, and mistakes you may encounter along the way. Prepare for them mentally, strategize solutions, and rehearse persistence. This reduces fear, builds resilience, and conditions your brain to handle adversity with clarity and calm. Elite performers anticipate obstacles before they arise. Your internal dialogue shapes your ability to tackle hard things. Replace negative self-talk with statements of empowerment. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I will do this because I am capable and disciplined." Consistently reinforcing positive internal narratives strengthens your ability to act under pressure. Words are the foundation of thought. Thought drives action. Procrastination is often fueled by lack of clarity. To overcome it, write down exactly what must be done, step by step. When your mind sees a clear roadmap, resistance decreases. Ambiguity breeds avoidance. Clarity breeds action. Combine this with time blocking and you create an unstoppable system for completing challenging tasks. Another habit of high performers is tracking incremental progress. Use a journal, spreadsheet, or app to log every small achievement. Over time, you can visually see the accumulation of effort and results. This creates positive reinforcement in your brain, making hard tasks feel achievable and motivating further action. Progress itself becomes a reward. Focus is strengthened through single-task deep work sessions. Resist multitasking at all costs. Your brain cannot handle multiple high-cognitive tasks simultaneously without degrading performance. Set aside blocks of uninterrupted time for your most difficult work. Enter a state of flow where your mind is fully absorbed and distraction is eliminated. This is where extraordinary results are created. Hard work also requires strategic rest. Overworking your mind reduces cognitive function, increases resistance, and drains willpower. Schedule short, deliberate breaks to recharge. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method or deep meditation to reset focus. Mental toughness is about working smart, not just grinding endlessly. Balance effort and recovery strategically. Accountability multiplies your results. Share your goals with someone who will track your progress and challenge you to stay consistent. This external pressure reduces internal resistance. When the brain knows that someone else is observing, it prioritizes action over avoidance. Elite performers leverage accountability relentlessly. They know discipline without oversight is fragile. Resilience is strengthened through deliberate exposure to discomfort. Take cold showers, skip the elevator, resist indulgent habits, or practice a difficult skill daily. Each act of voluntary discomfort teaches your mind that hardship is temporary and manageable. Gradually, what once seemed intimidating becomes routine. This mental adaptation is the secret to enduring greater challenges without hesitation. Purpose-driven action transforms difficult tasks into meaningful effort. Ask yourself, why does this matter? How will it change my life? When purpose is embedded in your work, resistance fades, focus sharpens, and stamina increases. Purpose turns mundane, challenging work into a mission worth completing, and your mind adapts to sustain effort in service of meaning. Visualization, combined with specific action planning, reinforces success. Imagine completing the task with confidence and precision. Then immediately execute the first step. Your brain aligns thought and action, reducing hesitation. The more detailed your visualization, the stronger the neural pathways supporting action become. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and creatives use this method daily to overcome fear and perform under pressure. Advanced habit stacking reinforces hard work. Pair a habit you want to build with an existing automatic routine. For example, do a mental rehearsal or gratitude exercise immediately after brushing your teeth, or tackle your most important task after your morning coffee. Your brain will associate the new behavior with a pre-existing habit, reducing resistance and embedding discipline naturally. Momentum compounds exponentially. The hardest part of any task is starting. Once you move even slightly, inertia carries you forward. Establish small wins early in the day, then leverage them to tackle larger challenges. Momentum is the force multiplier of mental toughness. It transforms resistance into sustained progress. Hardness is learned, not inherited. Every challenge you overcome, every task you complete despite resistance, strengthens your mental architecture. Your mind builds confidence not from comfort, but from proving to itself that it can endure difficulty and still succeed. This is why elite performers deliberately seek out the hard path. It trains the brain to expect success under pressure. One of the most powerful habits is morning intentionality. How you start the day sets the tone for every task that follows. Begin with a deliberate, challenging task first. Don't check social media. Don't reach for comfort. Attack the task you dread the most when your mind is fresh and your willpower is at its peak. Early victories create momentum that propels the rest of your day. Mental toughness grows exponentially when you pair action with reflection. Each evening, review the day's accomplishments and struggles. Ask, where did I resist? Where did I show courage? What can I improve tomorrow? Reflection creates feedback loops that allow your mind to learn faster adapt, and develop resilience. Over time, this practice transforms hesitation into decisiveness. Visualization is not a substitute for action, it is preparation for it. Elite performers mentally rehearse every detail of a challenging task before execution. They anticipate obstacles, imagine solutions, and envision success vividly. By doing this, the brain reduces fear and primes the body for effective action. Mental rehearsal plus immediate execution equals unstoppable performance. The power of micro-resolutions cannot be overstated. Break difficult tasks into micro-actions, single steps that are impossible to resist doing. For example, if you have a report to write, start by writing a single sentence. The mind resists entire projects, but it rarely resists tiny, manageable steps. Momentum is built one micro-action at a time. Discomfort should be embraced, not avoided. Life will always present challenges, but the more your mind becomes comfortable with voluntary discomfort, the less resistance you experience when unexpected challenges arise. Cold showers, intense workouts, tackling a difficult conversation, all teach your mind resilience, emotional regulation, and mental control. Your internal narrative is a tool or a weapon. The words you use with yourself shape your perception of difficulty. Replace "I can't do this" with "I will do this because I am capable, disciplined, and prepared." Language shapes thought. Thought drives action. Mastering your internal dialogue is mastering your mind. Accountability can be both external and internal. Share your goals with someone who will track your progress, challenge you, and celebrate victories. But also create internal accountability. Pledge to yourself out loud that you will complete each day's hard task. The combination of internal and external accountability exponentially increases the likelihood of consistent execution. Chunking tasks reduces mental overwhelm. When faced with a massive project, divide it into small, actionable steps. This clarity reduces resistance, allowing you to focus on the process rather than obsessing over the size of the task. Completion of each chunk reinforces momentum and builds confidence for the next. Energy management is critical for consistent performance. Your mind performs best when your body is well rested, nourished, and exercised. Schedule your most difficult tasks when energy is highest. Avoid critical decisions when fatigue sets in. Deliberate alignment of energy with effort maximizes efficiency and reduces resistance. Elite performers also use intentional stress exposure. They voluntarily engage in mentally, physically, or emotionally challenging situations daily. The act of pushing boundaries builds resilience. Over time, the brain begins to perceive hardship as manageable rather than threatening. This mental conditioning makes hard tasks easier to execute. Purpose anchors effort. Every challenging task should have a clearly defined why. Ask, why am I doing this? Who benefits? How does this align with my long-term goals? When effort is grounded in meaning, resistance diminishes, focus improves, and persistence strengthens. Purpose transforms mundane difficulty into meaningful growth. Reflection, combined with deliberate planning, strengthens execution. Review each day's actions, what worked, what didn't, and why. Plan tomorrow with specific, achievable, and challenging objectives. This dual practice trains the mind to anticipate obstacles, allocate effort strategically, and act decisively under pressure. Deep work or uninterrupted focus is a key habit. Schedule sessions of 60 to 90 minutes where all distractions are eliminated. Use this time exclusively for your hardest, highest value work. Train your mind to enter a state of flow, where performance is elevated and resistance fades. Flow is where excellence is produced consistently. Momentum is your most valuable ally. Begin each day with small wins that build confidence and energy. Once motion is achieved, larger challenges become easier to tackle. Momentum transforms effort from resistance into self-reinforcing progress. Hardness is cultivated through consistent exposure to difficulty. Challenge yourself daily in small ways. Physical exertion, complex tasks, or uncomfortable conversations. Each act of deliberate difficulty strengthens resilience, teaches patience, and expands your capacity to endure. Over months, your mind becomes conditioned to tackle almost any challenge without hesitation. Visualization combined with action planning bridges imagination and execution. Mentally rehearse success, then immediately take the first tangible step. The mind adapts to alignment between thought and reality. Over time, this strengthens confidence, reduces procrastination, and creates habitual persistence. Habit stacking ensures consistency without reliance on willpower. Attach new, difficult behaviors to established routines. For example, journal after breakfast, exercise after shower, or plan your day after making coffee. The brain integrates new behaviors into existing structures, reducing resistance and embedding discipline naturally. Every time you face resistance and push forward, you are proving something to yourself. That you are stronger than your doubts, more capable than your fears, and more determined than your hesitation. Mental toughness is not something you are born with, it is built deliberately every single day. And it starts with action. Start now. Commit to doing the one task you've been avoiding today, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Listeners, if you're finding value in this guidance, I want you to pause for a moment and subscribe to the Motivational Audiobook spot. Hitting that subscribe button isn't just about following a channel. It's about committing to growth, to daily progress, and to challenging yourself to do hard things. Every week, we deliver actionable strategies, motivational insights, and deep dives into mastering your mind. Subscribing is your first step toward building the discipline that transforms your life. The most effective strategy for handling hard tasks is action under discomfort. When your mind screams, "I can't," that's the exact moment to act. Push through. Lift yourself over the initial barrier. The more often you do this, the easier hard tasks become, and the stronger your mental foundation grows. It's like building muscle. The strain today creates the strength you'll need tomorrow. Break tasks into bite-sized, actionable steps. Massive goals feel impossible when viewed as a whole. But each small victory creates momentum, reduces resistance, and trains your brain to persist. When you complete one step, reward yourself mentally. Recognize the accomplishment. This reinforcement teaches your mind that hard work produces positive results. Reflection is your secret weapon. At the end of each day, ask, where did I resist? Where did I act with courage? What can I improve tomorrow? This simple practice transforms experience into mastery. Over weeks, months, and years, reflection compounds, sharpening focus, building resilience, and accelerating growth. Here's another technique elite performers use. Visualize the task and your success, then act immediately. Your brain begins to expect completion. Resistance decreases. Fear diminishes. Confidence grows. The simple act of pairing visualization with immediate action is what separates ordinary performance from extraordinary achievement. Energy management is critical. Hard tasks require mental clarity, focus, and stamina. Eat well, sleep well, and exercise consistently. Schedule your most challenging work for the times of day when your energy peaks. When your mind and body are aligned, resistance falls, and hard tasks feel achievable. Deliberate discomfort accelerates mental strength. Cold showers, high-intensity workouts, public speaking, or tackling a challenging task first thing in the morning. These practices teach your brain to embrace challenges rather than avoid them. Gradually, the impossible becomes possible because your mind learns that discomfort is temporary and manageable. Accountability multiplies results. Share your goals with someone who will hold you responsible. But also hold yourself accountable. Speak your commitments aloud, write them down, and review them daily. Internal and external accountability together create unshakable discipline. Purpose is the ultimate motivator. Every task should have meaning. Ask, why am I doing this? How will this improve my life? When your effort is connected to purpose, resistance fades, and consistency becomes effortless. Meaning transforms struggle into growth. Now, listeners, take a moment and hit the like button and turn on notifications for the Motivational Audiobook spot. Doing so isn't just clicking a button, it's signaling your commitment to personal growth. Every like, every notification, is a reminder to your mind that action and discipline are non-negotiable. Join thousands of others who are building mental toughness, one step at a time. Momentum compounds faster than motivation. Start small, finish tasks consistently, and watch resistance diminish over time. Early wins create confidence. Confidence drives more action. Action produces results. And results reinforce the habit of persistence. Habit stacking accelerates progress. Attach new, difficult habits to existing routines. Journal after coffee. Meditate after brushing your teeth. Tackle your most challenging task after your morning workout. Your brain naturally adapts to these patterns, reducing resistance and embedding discipline seamlessly. The secret to high performance is preparation for failure. Anticipate obstacles, rehearse solutions, and prepare mentally for setbacks. Fear diminishes when your mind knows it can handle challenges. Elite performers don't avoid failure. They embrace it as a teacher, using it to build resilience, sharpen strategy, and enhance confidence. Listeners, if this content resonates, make sure to comment below what hard task you're committing to today. Sharing your goal publicly, even in a comment, is a small but powerful act of accountability. Your mind will recognize the social commitment, increasing the likelihood of action. This is part of building a community of disciplined, action-oriented individuals at the Motivational Audiobook spot. Deep work is essential. Protect uninterrupted blocks of time for high-value tasks. Remove distractions. Focus fully. Enter flow. When you are fully immersed in challenging work, resistance disappears, creativity rises, and productivity multiplies. This is where the hardest tasks become the most rewarding. Momentum, reflection, visualization, accountability, purpose, they are all connected. Use them together. Start your day with intention. Act under discomfort. Track progress. Review performance. Adjust strategy. Repeat daily. Over time, the compounding effect is extraordinary. You become unstoppable. Elite performers understand that mental strength is built daily, in the smallest of choices. Michael Jordan didn't become the greatest by playing easy games. He became great by pushing through pain, fatigue, and doubt. Each practice session, each free throw, each moment of resistance was an opportunity to strengthen his mind. The lesson for you is clear. Greatness is forged not in comfort, but in deliberate, repeated action under difficulty. You can start today. Identify the hardest task you've been avoiding and commit to completing it right now. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Take action immediately. And if this guidance is helping you, pause and hit subscribe to the Motivational Audiobook spot. Subscribing is your commitment to growth, to mastering your mind, and to embracing challenges every day. Mental exercises accelerate progress. Try the future self-visualization exercise. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 1 year from now, having completed the difficult tasks you avoid today. Feel the pride, the confidence, the clarity, and the strength. Then open your eyes and take the first step toward that future self. Visualization primes your brain for action while creating emotional motivation that propels execution. Consistency compounds results. Small, deliberate actions repeated daily produce exponential growth over time. Write down one challenging task for today and complete it. Repeat tomorrow. Then the next day. Every completed action strengthens your identity as someone who acts despite discomfort. Over weeks and months, resistance fades, and productivity becomes habitual. Energy management is critical for sustaining effort. Hard tasks require focus, stamina, and clarity. Align your most difficult work with peak energy periods, nourish your body properly, and maintain regular sleep. A mind and body in sync reduces resistance and increases your capacity for sustained focus. Let's talk about habit stacking for mental toughness. Link difficult habits to existing routines. Journal after your morning coffee, tackle a challenging task after meditation, or practice skill building after your workout. The brain adapts faster to new behaviors when they are attached to established patterns. Over time, these habits become automatic, reducing reliance on motivation or willpower. Accountability amplifies action. Share your goals with a friend, mentor, or coach, or publicly declare them in a comment below. Every social commitment increases follow-through. Comment right now what hard task you're committing to today. Doing so reinforces action, strengthens accountability, and connects you to a community dedicated to growth on the Motivational Audiobook Spot. Reflection strengthens execution. Each night, review your day. What challenges did you overcome? Where did you resist? What can you improve tomorrow? Reflection turns experience into mastery. It sharpens your strategy, strengthens mental toughness, and ensures consistent improvement over time. Elite performers use strategic preparation for failure. Anticipate obstacles, plan solutions, and rehearse how you will respond to setbacks. Preparing for adversity reduces fear and builds resilience. Every challenge becomes a test of capability rather than a threat. The more prepared you are mentally, the easier hard tasks become. Microactions reduce resistance. Break every difficult task into the smallest possible step and complete it immediately. Write a single sentence, make a phone call, take a single action. The mind rarely resists small wins, and once you begin, momentum carries you forward. Momentum is the most underestimated tool for mental toughness. It turns action into habit and habit into identity. Purpose is a constant motivator. Ask, why am I doing this? How does this move me closer to my goals? When every action is anchored in meaning, resistance fades. Work that once felt daunting transforms into a mission you cannot ignore. Purpose converts struggle into progress. Flow, or deep work, is essential for completing hard tasks efficiently. Protect blocks of uninterrupted time for high-value work, remove distractions, and fully immerse yourself. In flow, the mind is laser-focused, creativity increases, and productivity soars. Hard work becomes almost effortless in these states because resistance disappears when the mind is absorbed. Discomfort should be embraced daily. Cold showers, intense workouts, challenging conversations, or early mornings train the brain to tolerate difficulty. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes routine. Voluntary discomfort teaches resilience, patience, and perseverance. Essential traits for anyone committed to forcing their mind to do hard things. Momentum compounds. Begin with small wins in the morning, tasks you can complete quickly to build confidence. Use this energy to tackle larger challenges. Each success reinforces identity. I am someone who acts despite difficulty. Identity fuels action. Identity fuels discipline. And discipline produces results. Now, listeners, take action. Subscribe to the Motivational Audiobook Spot, like this video, and turn on notifications. Doing so ensures you receive weekly content designed to strengthen your mind, build resilience, and teach strategies to tackle hard things consistently. Subscribing is not passive. It is a commitment to yourself and your growth. Stories inspire action. Thomas Edison faced thousands of failed attempts before inventing the light bulb. Every failure was a lesson, every setback a step forward. He approached each challenge with curiosity and persistence. You can adopt the same mindset. Every hard task you face today is training your mind to endure, adapt, and succeed. Visualization plus execution is a formula for action. Mentally rehearse completion, then take the first concrete step. Aligning thought and action trains your brain to act decisively. The more you do this, the less resistance you experience, and the more effortlessly you handle future challenges. Daily reflection, habit stacking, deliberate discomfort, visualization, and momentum are a system. Use them consistently. Each principle reinforces the others, building a compounding structure of mental toughness. Follow these consistently, and you will become unstoppable. And again, listeners, take a moment and comment below your biggest challenge this week and what step you will take today. Engaging in the comments creates accountability, strengthens your resolve, and connects you with a community of people committed to growth, all through the Motivational Audiobook Spot. Extreme focus is not accidental, it is cultivated. Every elite performer, from athletes to entrepreneurs, trains their mind to concentrate for extended periods. Start by scheduling daily deep work sessions, free from distractions, where your only goal is progress on the hardest tasks. Block your phone, close notifications, and commit fully. These sessions train your brain to thrive under challenge and sharpen your mental endurance. To build unstoppable perseverance, practice deliberate discomfort daily. Engage in one act of discomfort that pushes your limits, physical, emotional, or mental. Cold showers, a difficult conversation, completing a task you've been avoiding, or writing the first page of a challenging report. Each act sends a clear message to your brain. You are capable of enduring difficulty, and resistance is temporary. Identity shapes action. Tell yourself, I am someone who does hard things. Repeat it daily, visualize it, and act in alignment with it. When your actions match your self-concept, mental resistance dissolves. Identity-based discipline is stronger than motivation because it is rooted in who you are, not how you feel. Listeners, if this is resonating, subscribe to the Motivational Audiobook spot and turn on notifications. Every video is designed to guide you step by step in building mental toughness, overcoming resistance, and consistently achieving high performance. Subscribing is a declaration to your future self. I will act despite difficulty. Accountability accelerates growth. Share your goals with a mentor, friend, or coach, or declare them publicly in the comments below. Each declaration creates social pressure, reinforcing follow-through. Comment today the one hard task you are committing to complete immediately. Your mind responds powerfully to accountability, and your community will support your growth. Visualization is a critical tool for elite performers. Close your eyes and imagine completing a difficult task successfully. Feel the emotion, the pride, the relief, and the satisfaction. Then take the first tangible step immediately. This combination primes the mind, aligns neural pathways, and transforms fear into action. Energy management is vital. Your mind can only function at peak when your body is well-fueled, rested, and exercised. Schedule your hardest tasks during peak energy hours, eat to support focus, and ensure restorative sleep. High mental performance is impossible without a strong foundation of physical and emotional energy. Microactions reduce mental resistance. When facing a daunting task, break it into the smallest possible step. Write one paragraph, make one call, take one action. Momentum builds naturally. Each microaction reinforces identity, confidence, and the habit of discipline. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes routine. Elite performers embrace failure as feedback, not defeat. Thomas Edison said it best. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Reframe mistakes as data, setbacks as lessons, and challenges as opportunities. Every failure strengthens resilience, sharpens strategy, and increases mental toughness. Habit stacking is a cornerstone of high performance. Pair difficult habits with existing routines. Journal after coffee, exercise after brushing your teeth, or tackle your most important task after meditation. The brain naturally integrates new actions into existing patterns, reducing friction and embedding consistency. Daily reflection transforms experience into mastery. At the end of each day, review your performance. What went well, what needs improvement, and what lessons can be applied tomorrow. Reflection strengthens awareness, reinforces progress, and accelerates growth. Listeners, take a moment now and like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to push themselves today. Each engagement reinforces your commitment to action and strengthens our community of disciplined, growth-oriented individuals at the Motivational Audiobook spot. Momentum compounds exponentially. Start small in the morning with manageable victories. Let those wins fuel the completion of larger, more difficult tasks. Momentum transforms resistance into self-reinforcing action, making discipline almost effortless over time. Advanced mental exercises for toughness include stress adaptation drills. Schedule moments of challenge deliberately. Cold exposure, fasted workouts, or tackling a task you've been avoiding. These controlled stressors teach your brain to remain calm, focused, and decisive under pressure. Over time, the mind begins to anticipate challenge as opportunity rather than threat. Purpose-driven effort transforms difficulty into meaning. Anchor every task in a clear why. Ask, why does this matter? How does this move me closer to my goals? When effort aligns with purpose, resistance diminishes, stamina increases, and execution becomes relentless. Hard work is no longer optional, it is mission critical. Visualization, reflection, and immediate action create alignment between intention and reality. Mentally rehearse success, plan your steps, and take the first concrete action without delay. This builds confidence, reduces fear, and creates a habit of decisive execution. Extreme focus requires minimizing cognitive load. Eliminate unnecessary choices, reduce distractions, and automate routine decisions. The less your mind is burdened by trivial tasks, the more capacity it has for tackling your hardest, most meaningful challenges. Mental efficiency is the backbone of sustained high performance. Identity-based discipline compounds results. Repeat daily affirmations. I am someone who acts despite difficulty. I am resilient. I am disciplined. Pair these with deliberate action. Over time, your identity aligns with your behavior, and resistance fades because the mind sees effort as a natural extension of who you are. Daily routines for high performance should integrate deep work, deliberate discomfort, reflection, visualization, and physical preparation. Begin with a challenging task in the morning, follow with focused work blocks, take energy-aligned breaks, and end with reflection and planning for tomorrow. Routines reduce decision fatigue, embed consistency, and make hard tasks manageable. CTA reminder: subscribe to the Motivational Audiobook Spot, hit the notification bell, and comment your biggest challenge today. Taking these actions is a form of commitment. Your mind recognizes and reinforces accountability. Joining our community ensures support, guidance, and motivation for every hard task you face. Perseverance is cultivated through deliberate, repeated exposure to challenge. The more discomfort you endure voluntarily, the more effortless difficult tasks become. Embrace each day's challenges as mental training. Your mind will adapt, your confidence will grow, and resistance will weaken. Stories of grit inspire action. Consider Serena Williams, who trained relentlessly despite injuries, fatigue, and immense pressure. She viewed every challenge as an opportunity to strengthen both body and mind. You can adopt the same approach. Every difficult task you face today is an investment in your mental resilience and future success.